Hi everyone. Have you ever been in a situation where you've worked really hard at a piece of work, you've handed it to your boss, and your boss says, this is no good, really criticizes you, even though you've put your all into it, you've worked lots of overtime, and you go home and you think, this boss is really ungrateful, I can't believe they didn't give me any credit for putting my heart and soul into this piece of work. Whereas the boss on his or her side thinks, I can't believe they handed me in such a poor piece of work, did they put no effort in at all? Or a second situation, maybe in your personal life. For example, your significant other misses a dinner date with you or feels that he or her is not very available, and you confront him or her about it, and they say, well, I'm working super hard for our future. My intention is to work really hard, get promoted, and provide us a happy future. Whereas you're just thinking, well, if you love me as much, then you would make yourself more available for me. These two are classic examples of what causes a lot of conflict with other people. And that is our judgment mechanism that we use in life. The judgment mechanism we use is the following. We judge ourselves by our intentions, and we judge others not by their intentions, but by their actions. In other words, when we fail at something, when we do something wrong, we look at our intentions. Were our intentions behind it good? And we seek to explain our behavior by our intentions. When other people do something wrong, we simply say, they did this wrong, they failed, their actions were not appropriate. And we don't try and look at their intentions, or even worse, we use their actions to infer what their intentions are. In other words, the boss, this work is bad, therefore they didn't try. The significant other, this person missed the date, therefore he or she does not love me. What we have to recognize as well as human beings is that people are using this on us. So our intention-based arguments, I didn't mean to do this, it's for your own good, etc., rarely are very persuasive, because the other person has already made their judgment on your intention from your action. Ultimately, what this leads to is a kind of hypocrisy, where you hold people to double standards, yourself to one standard, and everybody else to, frankly, the higher standard of action-based judgment. How do we get out of this? Well, I think first is to recognize that this is a fact of humanity. Why do humans behave this way? Simply because we only know our own intentions. We can't ever truly know someone else's intentions. We can only look at his or her actions. So this is one of those lazy ways in which we interpret the world, because it's easy. However, what we can do is, instead of immediately jumping to judgment on someone's actions, is to try and give them benefit for their intentions. This goes a long way. For example, the boss in the previous example could have said, I'm sure you worked really hard at this. I saw you here late at night, and I do really appreciate the effort you're putting in. And then constructively critique the work. Why does that work a lot better? Because he is standing on your side, judging you how you judge yourself. And from that common position, we can then discuss the action rather than immediately making an assumption about your intention from your action. In your own personal relationships, you will also find it very helpful to understand not only are you being judged on your actions, so always hiding behind your intentions is not going to help you very much. You may well think you're the best boyfriend, husband, girlfriend or wife in the world, but if your actions aren't living up to that in your other half's eyes, then you are failing, because you're being judged on your action rather than your intention. But at the same time, you should be giving your significant other credit for their intentions, because it's that intention is the foundation upon which behavior change is built. If someone is doing something consistently that you dislike, giving them credit for their good intention and then redirecting that intention into better behaviors is the most effective way of getting behavior change, rather than simply always having 冲突, where you criticize their actions and infer a negative intention. Fundamentally, people care a lot about their intentions and the intentions that other people ascribe to them. If you use people's actions and then give them an intention that is very negative, you do not care about me, you're not very good at your job, you 不太敬业, these things, these speak to your character and identity. And to human beings, it's your character and identity that's most important. And this fundamentally is why we judge ourselves by our intentions, because we believe our intentions is character. Character is identity, and identity, as I've said before, is our world. So the minute you use people's actions and extrapolate a bad intention, you escalate the situation rapidly and can cause serious damage to your personal relationships. So my conclusions for everybody is this. First, understand that you may well judge yourself on your intentions, but the majority of people are judging you on your actions, so think before you act. Second, to be a more compassionate human being and to improve your personal relationships, try actively to give people good credit for their intentions. Third, don't always rush to judgment. And for me, this is the most important thing. The minute you use someone's actions and immediately rush to judgment on their intentions, you're actually making a very strong statement about their personality and identity, which is one of the most aggressive or sensitive things you can do as a human being. Instead of saying this person is adjective, not hardworking, doesn't care, whatever, you should ask yourself a question. Why did someone do something the way they did? Replace judgment with curiosity, and that will help you both stand back from the situation, but also prevent you in a rush to judgment that can cause serious damage to your personal relationships.